Good morning, everybody. We are outside in the area behind some of our exhibits for our Dingo walk and talk. We're going to give you guys a little time to join us right now, but also we want to warn you that the wind is proving a little difficult for us this morning. We apologize if our signal drops or if you guys get a lot of wind from our microphone. We're trying to show you as much as we can, and this is what we had planned for today, and we really wanted to stick with it because these dingoes are so amazing and so cool. So we are, as I said, on a service drive behind the rhino exhibit right now, just walking through, and we are going to wait as this vehicle comes by us. But as we always do, let's give some shout outs while we are getting ready here. And then we'll go through our announcements, and then we are on to the Dingo walk and talk. All right, let's see. Who is with us here this morning? Hi, Wolfgang in Ann Arbor. Hey, Theo and Marcus. Hi, Alex. Hi, Mike. Hi, Athena and Caden, Colton and Cassidy. Thanks for joining us this morning. All right. Hi, Mike and the SEAL team. Hey, Ann. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Andrew, age 8. We are so glad you guys are with us this morning. Hi, Rowan and Lincoln. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here. I will, as you guys, and we're walking, I'll just do our morning announcements, and then we'll turn it over to Mary Beth. So we just wanted to remind you guys that we are still doing our meals on the go. Entrees this week are honey glazed ham and make your own meatball subs. So get your orders in for those Tuesday and Thursday. Pickup is 4 to 6 p.m. at the Broadway entrance. Go to ToledoZoo.org to place your order. And also our education department and our virtual classrooms are still going on. All kinds of topics. Again, you can find those at ToledoZoo.org. And also we are still practicing our social distancing and, you know, personal protective equipment. Thanks to our volunteers, we all have these amazing handmade masks to help keep us and the animals safe. So, all right, we are coming out here from the service drive. We are right next to our vet buildings and the elephants, and we're going to walk around behind here. And goodness, a little slippery out here. We are going to turn it over to Mary Beth to talk to us about our dingoes. And just so you guys know, we have Mary Beth, one of our keepers, and we also have Beth Posta, our behavior, welfare, and training department, all in one over there, walking our two dingoes. So Mary Beth, talk to us about these two amazing, amazing creatures.
Well, hi, I'm Mary Beth, and I'm walking Indigo, and Beth is walking Tawny, and Indigo's a boy and Tawny's a girl, and they are about 7 years old, and they came here when they were only 1 year old from the Prospect Park Zoo in New York City, and they have been just wonderful animals to work with, and we've done a lot of training with them because they were a little skittish at first. And they just love going on their walks, and that's a good way to bond with the animals and get them comfortable. So dingoes are canid, but they're not the same as a domestic dog. So they have a lot of natural instincts, such as they love to dig. They're very reactive to squirrels, birds, and rabbits. And so when we're on our walks, we have to be careful of that. And a giant garbage truck just went by, and so he had to check that out. And we've got a maintenance truck here, but these can all be learning opportunities for the dingoes. So they get used to different weird things, and they meet a lot of the keepers back here. They are familiar with most of the elephant keepers. We're behind the elephant barn right now. And when we first got them, Indigo was shy of men, and since we've done so many walks with him, he's become much better about that. And there are several men in the elephant department and they smell like elephants, and the dingoes love that, and so they'll run right up to them and they want to be petted by them. So we have done a lot of fun things with the dingoes.
All right, and to answer Jillian's question of why we're wearing masks outside, well, obviously, to get in the screen for you guys, social distancing isn't always possible, so we're not only protecting ourselves, but we wear masks as we're working around the animals now to protect them also. It is strictly, out of an abundance of caution and wanting to provide the best for not only our staff, but also our animals. So, yep, we will continue to practice, proper social distancing, hi bud, and, doing the best that we can for our animals. Trenton says they're so pretty. They are very pretty. And Mary Beth, talk to us about how to tell them apart.
Well, these dingoes are what is known as alpine dingoes, so they have a thicker undercoat. When you think of Australia, you think hot and dry. Dingoes actually are considered feral dogs in Australia. They probably came over to Australia about 3,000 years ago, and they adapted very well, but some of them adapted to the savanna and some to the alpine region. And so Indigo has the redder coat and he's shaggier. He loves cold weather. He gets excited about snow. He jumps and rolls in leaves and snow. And Tawny does fine in the cold weather too. Actually, it's harder on them in the hot weather. So Tawny is lighter in color. She weighs about 10 pounds less. Indigo weighs about 45 pounds and she weighs about 35 pounds. And this is the potty break stop.
Yes. An important part of all walks, whether it be our dingoes or your pets at home, yes, we want to make sure we get our potty breaks in. So let's see here. We're going back. Yes, we are on a dingo walk, and this is part of their enrichment. As Mary Beth was saying, they are very curious and active animals, and we want to provide, some different scents, different people, different experiences for them. And so, yep, each day we do a dingo walk, and most of it takes place behind the scenes in these walkways and access points off exhibit. But because we are closed, we get to do a little bit of fun stuff. And so, Mary Beth, tell us where we're taking them right now.
Well, right now we're behind Nature's Neighborhood. That's the museum, and that's the forest room, the back of it. This is the EAC, which is an insect rearing facility. And we're going to go through one of the back gates into Nature's Neighborhood. And the dingoes are going to get a chance to play where the kids do.
Yeah, so they're going to take advantage of the play structures that unfortunately our kids aren't able to take advantage of right now. But it's also cool enrichment for our dingoes and very cool for you guys to get to see this. So we're going to take a few more questions here. Let's see what we can find. Zach asks, is Indigo more curious on walks than Tawny?
Yes, I would say he is more curious, and sometimes Tawny's a little shy, and if it's rainy, we say she puts on her, she needs her war bonnet or her goggles. She'll have her ears back and she's all business. So they're curious about this because little animals crawl around here at night and they're always on the scent for that sort of thing. And they like to hop up on things. Let's see if they'll do it. You go up, come here, up, up. Good. And they're comfortable up in the air. And so lots of times we have to be careful because sometimes they'll hop up on something that you don't want them to hop up on.
And Mandy asks, what do they eat?
So at the zoo, they eat rats. They get part of a rabbit. They get ground meat, some canned dog food and some dry dog food. And they also get bones.
Very
Indigo
nice.
loves to go up this thing. Sure.
And Noah says, I thought dingoes were dangerous.
Well, wild dingoes are dangerous. They are a predator. They are an apex predator. And they can hunt as a pack and catch large animals like kangaroos. But they can also hunt smaller things too, like rabbits and little marsupials in Australia. And but when they've been trained from day one, they're quite friendly.
Very nice. And Brinley asks, do they have a favorite zookeeper?
Well, myself and Kristen Farley were their original keepers from the first day, and she did most of the training with Tawny, and I did most of the training with Indigo. So I guess you could say they're pretty used to us.
All right.
And Beth has also helped with that.
Lisa wants to know, do people keep them as pets?
It depends on where it is. There's places in Australia that it is illegal to have dingoes as pets, and there's other places that it's fairly common that people do sometimes have them as pets. And historically, the Aborigine people kept them while they were young, and they kind of cohabitated with them.
And Judith would like to know, do we breed this pair?
So this is Tawny is spayed, and so they're not going to be a breeding pair. And that's because it's hard to find enough homes. So we are being responsible pet owners, and we had our pet spayed or neutered.
All right. And talk to us. Karen wants to know why they're each on 2 leashes.
Well, that's a good question. So the reason we use 2 leashes is because they're quite strong, and it's like a fail-safe, so it's double protection. So we've tried a couple different harnesses with Indigo, and he got out of the first kind, and he's also popped a leash open with his thick shaggy hair. So we came up with this way to do it, and it's just safer that way when we walk him out around people. And he has the chain on his leash because when he gets excited, he'll chew on the leash, and so we don't want him to get loose.
And it's funny because Mary Beth was telling us that right before we went on camera, and as if on cue, he grabbed onto Tawny's leash and started to chew. So it was perfect. Elias asks, how long are the dingoes?
They're about 3 feet long.
Very good.
And they're full grown.
And they are full grown. And Michelle wants to know, how often do they get to go on these walks?
We take them for a walk usually 5 or 6 days a week, and it sometimes depends on staffing and weather. So the most common reason that we don't walk them is if it's too hot in the summertime. But in the wintertime, they almost always go, and even if it's raining, as long as it's not a downpour, we take them for a walk.
And talk to us about if people encounter you taking them out on walks when we do have visitors on grounds. What do you want our guests to know?
So if we do go on grounds when people are here, we will, she found something to roll in. If we go on grounds, we always have a third person. Okay, come on, guys. That's really yucky, whatever it is. We will always have a third person, and that person will just kind of keep people back from the dingoes because if they're not used to people, they might react and try to get too close. And so we do ask that you stay back a little bit.
And they are absolutely welcome to come up to that third person and ask questions.
Right.
We actually encourage that. We just ask that, these are still relatives of wild animals, and we want to be respectful of their status, and we want to be an education organization and teach you guys all about them, but part of that is being respectful of them. And Lane and Ella would like to know, how and why are they different from dogs?
Well, that's a very good question. So they have some morphological differences, which means their bone structure of their head's a little specific to the dingo. And then, but behaviorally, they're very athletic, and Tawny can jump almost 10 feet high. She'll get in a corner, and it's just amazing to watch her. And so they dig like crazy. They react to animals a lot, so they can be a handful at times.
Absolutely, and those are all good reasons. Those of you who are asking, do they make good pets, or would I want one as a pet? The answer is no. No, you would not. As she said, they can jump extremely high. They are very prone to digging, and they are animal reactive. So, that was just the wind blowing some things around caused them both to jump right there. Miranda, these guys are companions. We are not breeding them, as she was talking about earlier. And Michelle, the dingo exhibit is located near the pedestrian bridge. As you're coming on to the south side of the zoo, you can see them from the bridge. And then if you go to the end of Tiger Terrace, there's also some great viewing of the dingoes. So that's where you can find them at the zoo. And as far as what they eat, Mary Beth was telling us about, they eat, here at the zoo, they eat rats and little mice. And in the wild, what are some of their favorites, Mary Beth?
In the wild, they would catch, there are feral cats in Australia, and they catch them, and also feral rabbits, but they also can take down a wallaby or a kangaroo. They can also eat insects. It just depends on the season and what's available. They'll catch little birds and frogs. So they have quite a variety of things that they'll eat.
Sounds like they're quite opportunistic. Louise asks, do they get excited when they see their leads, as our pet dogs would?
Yes, they do, and we spell out the word W-A-L-K, and it's usually later in the day, so we're pretty careful not to rustle the leashes when we're around if it's not the right time.
It's not time. And just so you guys know, we are now walking back towards the Reptile House and Tembo Trail. And Adam asks, do they like belly rubs and being petted?
They do seem to like being scratched and petted. They have, like any animal, they have certain places they like to be scratched. He likes his butt scratches and under the chin.
Aww. And Casey says, do you do nose work with them?
No, we have never done that.
And Jennifer, our keepers can pet them. As Mary Beth was saying, they have different areas that they like to be scratched. But as we said, if you encounter them during a dingo walk on grounds, we ask that you do not pet them. All right. Yes, Trenton, we do take them out when people are here. As we said, as Mary Beth was saying, they just have a third person with them so that that person can answer questions and kind of keep people at a safe distance. We are always encouraging you to talk to our staff and learn about our animals. We just want to do so from a safe distance and in a respectful manner. And here Tawny is checking out our otters, who are so very curious about her too. This is wonderful. Little different kind of enrichment for them. And now Indigo's going to get in on the fun. And if you guys missed it, now it was probably almost 2 weeks ago, Mary Beth did a cool live feed with us with our otters. So if you want to learn more about them, go back through our timeline. But this is very, very cool. And Luke wants to know how high they can jump and can they jump fences?
Yes, that's not for you, that's for the others. Yes, they can jump about 10 feet high, I was saying before. And we do have electric fencing at the top of the fence, and we have buried fence underneath. And we also bring them inside at night just to be sure.
Just to be safe. And do dingoes and other members of the canine family receive Kongs and other food puzzles as a form of enrichment? Katie asks.
Yep, that's a good question. So they like their Kongs with peanut butter and Kong paste, and they get paper mache, paper tubes, certain dog treats. They don't like a lot of dog treats, but we use the mice and rats as treats.
Very good. And Barbara asks, have they ever been with other dingoes?
They were each in a large litter when they were born. So for the first year of their life, they were with their family. And that's how it would be in the wild. A pair of dingoes would mate and they would raise their young together. Oh, he wants to look at something else now.
And
Let's go this way.
Samantha asks, are these normal dog harnesses or are they specially made?
They are just regular dog harnesses.
No, Rebecca, these two were not born in the wild. They were born, Mary Beth said, at Prospect Park Zoo, and they were of two different litters, but you were telling us they were actually born on the same day.
Right. Oh, that's okay.
So that's pretty cool. All right, let's see. Do you know how many zoos in the U.S. have dingoes?
I do not.
That's all right. That'd be a cool thing for you guys to Google. And once again, can you recap for Camden how they're different from dogs?
Well, they have a few specific biological things with their the shape of their head, especially, but they also are very reactive to little animals, and they dig and they jump and they are very athletic, and so they're kind of a handful at times.
And what is a pack of dingoes called in the wild? Or a group of dingoes, do you know?
I would have to look it up. I think they're just called a pack, though.
All right, and let's see here. So we are now on the overlook here at the elephant exhibit, so that Indigo and Tawny, our two dingoes, can check out the elephants. As we said, we are on a dingo walk, and it's a form of enrichment for them to have new scents, new sounds, and new things to look at. And it also helps with their harness training to walk them around the zoo. Amanda wants to know, how long do these walks usually last?
They usually last 20 minutes to a half an hour. And I thought you were going to ask me how long they can live.
Oh, well, let's go with that one too.
Okay.
How long can they live, Mary Beth?
Okay. Well, captive dingoes can live to be about 15 to 18. And wild dingoes would only live 5 to 7 years probably, because they have a lot more challenges.
And Chase, these are very cute dingoes. And in case you guys are wondering how you tell them apart, first of all, Mary Beth has Indigo. He is our male, and he is darker in color and a little bit bigger than our female that Beth is walking. Beth has Tawny, and she is much lighter in color and more petite, would probably be a good way to say that. And Zane asks, are they trained with commands? Will they sit, stay, things like that?
They do. I'll see if I can get him to sit. I brought a little snack along. Good boy. If I can just get it out. Good. They sit and they'll sit down. You lay down. This isn't really a normal place for him. Sit. Let's go up here where it's dry.
And just so you know, parents, she does have a tiny mouse that she is training him with. As she said, that's part of their normal diet. And as you see, he takes the entire thing, chomps it up, and away it goes. That is a form of enrichment. These all come to us humanely euthanized, and it is part of the normal diet of our dingoes. Shirley says, they're beautiful. Do you brush them?
Yes, we do. And he's really shedding right now. And so we'll be, it seems like he sheds like crazy.
And Noah, no, you as a visitor are not allowed to pet the dingoes. As we said, that is reserved for their keepers and working with them and training with them. In the zoo, we want to show our animals as wild animals. We do everything we can to make sure that dingoes in our care act and behave and get the same habitat and environment and experiences as wild dingoes. We work very hard with that. So no, you are not to pet them. And Alex wants to know, is it true that dingoes can open doors?
It would not surprise me if a dingo would figure out how to open a door if it had it.
And Kai, 7 years old, says dingoes are the best. Well, we're so glad that you're enjoying this, Kai. We are too. Michelle wants to know, do you have to clip their toenails like a dog? And here we are at the camel, reindeer, yak exhibit, and our dingoes are getting to check them out, and they are certainly interested in our dingoes too. Adam wants to know, how frequently do they get a bath?
We don't give them a bath, but they're out in the rain and they're animals. We don't have a bath now, like the dog gets wet. She probably has a bad smell right now. Sorry.
As you can see, when we were back in Nature's Neighborhood, Tawny rolled in some lovely smelling things. You guys can see that on her chin there. But as she said, they are pretty clean dogs and they'll take care of that for the most part. And Logan, you can see the dingoes in the zoo on the south side when you come across the pedestrian bridge. They are the very first exhibit at the base of the bridge, and if you walk to the back of Tiger Terrace, there's also a really great viewing area for them there. All right, let's see. Bryn wants to know, what kind of toys do they enjoy?
We like the boomer balls with the concrete on them and concrete in general.
All right. Well, let's take a moment while we're out of the wind here. We'll do a few shout outs. Hi, Harper and Brecken. Hi, Colton. Hi, Angie. Hi, Jillian. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Oh, it looks like we're having a little signal issue in here, so. All right, we'll keep moving here. We'll see if I can walk and talk while we do this and read these off. All right. We'd like to know, do dingoes have predators in the wild?
So their only predator primarily is when they're young. The pups can be taken by a that is the only one that I can think of offhand.
All right. And Aaron asks, do they bark?
So they make a lot of different vocalizations. They have a little bit of a bark. It's not the same as a dog. He'll bark when he sees a veterinarian. But they mostly howl.
All right, we're having some microphone issues here. Give us just a second. Let's see if we can try this again. All right, try again.
Okay. So you were asking if they bark, and Indigo does bark a little bit. He yips when he sees a veterinarian, and but they howl, and that can have several meanings. Sometimes when Kristen and I walk across grounds, they will tend to smell us before they even see us, and they'll start howling, and it's a greeting. And sometimes when we come in the morning, he'll say, "Roo, roo, roo," like that. But I read that dingoes have up to 17 or 18 different vocalizations.
Wow,
and that's because they are kind of a social.
That's amazing. And we are walking now by the snow leopard exhibit. And Shashir, our male snow leopard that we highlighted on Friday, has come down and is definitely checking these two out. And the females are back there working on some enrichment, but they have definitely located these dingoes out here and are very interested in what they're doing. So we are just going by that exhibit, and we apologize for the little sound issue there, guys. The wind is giving us some challenges here today, but thanks for sticking with us.
It's okay.
All right, we got Mary Beth back online, so let's see what we can. I'm going back through. Yep, I'm sorry, guys. Hey, Carter, thanks for tuning in. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Noah. Hi, Aubrey. We talked about toys. Let's see. What else we got here? Oh, Miles wants to know, do you ever walk them in the indoor exhibits like the aquarium?
We have not. We have brought them in the museum before. They used to do a little show in the indoor theater, which is remodeled now, but they don't particularly like going indoors, but that's something we could work with them on. But we've never taken them into the aquarium.
All right, and Amanda, we can't wait for the zoo to open either. We do hope that it's a little warmer the day that happens, and a little less windy, because it's a little fierce out here right now. Thanks, guys, for sticking with us. Hey, Martha. All right, guys, we are almost back to the dingo exhibit, so we want to thank you for joining us today and sticking with us with these microphone issues and this wind. It's been a little brisk out here for us, but Indigo doesn't seem to mind at all. As we said, the dingo exhibit is located at the base of the bridge near the flamingos that you're hearing right now as we walk by. And we just want to say thank you guys for tuning in today and every day. Hi, bud. And as always, if you are able to donate to us to help sustain your zoo during this difficult time, please donate during our live feeds, donate on our Facebook fundraiser, or go to toledozoo.org/donate for all the ways that you can give to your zoo. Thank you, Mary Beth and Beth, for taking Indigo and Tawny out for a walk today and telling us all about our amazing dingoes. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow and hope that you will visit our dingoes the next time you're at the zoo.
Can I just say one thing?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Mary Beth has one more thing to add.
I just want to say hi to my grandsons, Rowan, Jude, Pierce, and Kelly.
Oh, yes, we absolutely have to get those family shout-outs in. Beth, you got any before we go?
Hello, Chris and Cooper.
Hi, Chris and Cooper from Beth. All right, guys, see you next time. Thanks for joining us.